believe so. We'll just be waiting on our lovely tech team, and there we go.
All right. Hello, everyone. This is going to be a Hollow Knight any percent run on 1.4.3.2 patch. I am Turambar, and I will be your runner today. Let's get into it. Let's get started.
So I will start off by saying I do have this game, and I've played it for a little bit. I've only gotten past the False Knight, which is like the very first boss of the game. It is quite difficult.
Well, we actually just skip False Knight altogether. We do the first phase, and then we leave the arena. We don't care. We just dip. It's great.
Incredible.
Because we don't actually need the item you get from False Knight. We just need to beat him to get to the first ability. So you just beat the first phase and then you leave the arena. But yeah, this is King's Pass. This is just the tutorial area. The only really interesting thing about this is we're going to demonstrate a technique that's used a lot throughout the run, which is pogos. So when you attack downwards in Hollow Knight, you can bounce off enemies and or background objects. So here, we're going to do a Vengefly pogo like that, and bounce off the enemy to get up some height and do some platforms we wouldn't otherwise be able to.
Yeah, so thus far looking quite familiar to me.
Yeah.
How long this lasts, I am not quite sure.
We will find out. I can't hear you. So what you just saw there was called a hard fall cancel. When you land, open and close the menu really quickly, you can cancel your hard fall so you don't spend the time sat on the ground, which obviously we don't want. And here we're just jumping because in Dirtmouth, which is the village here, you walk instead of run, but when you jump, you keep your running speed, and obviously we want to be running. So yeah, here is now Forgotten Crossroads, which not a particularly interesting area of the run.
Yep, still familiar territory for me.
Yeah. We're going to do basically one cool thing in an arena pretty soon, where we're going to use a stalactite to kill 2 enemies instantly at once, if I get it right. So that's just in here. So we're going to kill this guy, then we're going to go here. And then both those guys die instantly with the stalactite from the ceiling.
Wow, very nicely done.
Messed up my movement a little bit there.
Oh, I did not know you can parry enemies like that.
Yes, so you can pogo a lot of things in this game, and that's going to be used a lot during the run for a lot of the skips. One of the hardest skips in the run is called Explosion Pogo, where you pogo the attack of an enemy, which homes in on you. And we're going to use that to, again, gain some height we wouldn't otherwise get.
Oh yeah, that sounds like it requires a good bit of positioning and timing there.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So that is going to come up in about 10 minutes.
All right, and I assume for now we are just navigating through the crossroads.
Yeah, so this is just the first area, the Forgotten Crossroads. At the end of it, in just a minute, we're going to come to the first boss, who we're going to knock on the ground and then abandon, because we do not need the item. So just in here is the False Knight. There's a little bit of RNG to this boss fight. You want him to jump towards you rather than away to kill him quick enough. But he can jump backwards. So yeah, there we go, jump towards us. And that just lets you kill him quicker than if he jumped backwards, basically. Right, yeah, so now when he starts hammering the ground, this wall is going to break, and we're just going to leave. There we go.
I was completely unaware you could do that.
Yeah, that intentional game design. But yeah, you do not have to beat that boss at all. And now we're going to get the first upgrade of the run, which is the Vengeful Spirit, or Fireball spell, which we're going to use for a lot of boss fights and to do some pretty cool skips. Again, if I can get them right. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, again, I do remember getting this.
Yeah. Also, I should have mentioned, but you will see all of the text is in Chinese. That's because you can scroll through the text faster in Chinese. So we don't want it in English or any other language, because we want to get through the text as quickly as possible, and for some reason it scrolls faster on Chinese. You can skip through it quicker.
Yeah, I think that's a similar thing to Luigi's Mansion when I was looking into my run for that. all of the top level runners use the JP version of the game. I'm assuming because of text scroll speeds and just simply the brevity of the text boxes themselves.
I think it's quite a common theme in a lot of speedruns with a lot of text, is there's normally a language, often Chinese or Japanese, that is faster.
Yep, same deal with Super Mario 64 as well, which we'll see later today.
So this is the Ancestral Mound, which is the tutorial area for the Vengeful Spirit spell that we just got. So at the end, just down here, we're going to kill an enemy with it, which you can't kill otherwise. So this enemy can either spit a little enemy like that, a little boulder, or an attack. We need him to spit out an enemy just like he did there, because we need the extra soul you get from killing enemies to fire off the extra spell to kill him. So there's a little bit of RNG there, because it's 50-50 whether he does an attack or spits out an enemy. And there's going to be another one of those guys in just a minute, so fingers crossed for good RNG again.
Yeah, I remember being very confused when I came across this enemies for the first time, and I realized, oh, I have to use a new ability I just got. That's the point here.
Classic Metroidvania. Give a tutorial enemy on how to use the new ability you just got. So yeah, here we're just gathering soul again to... that's unfortunate. I'm going to have to wait for this guy to come around. So bad RNG in this room just because there were no other flying enemies nearby to get soul from. But yep, so here's the second one of these enemies. So again, praying for good RNG. Very good RNG. What a day.
Very smoothly done.
All right, so now we're just about to enter Green Path, which is where we're going to get the dash ability and where we're hopefully going to hit some very cool skips. So the main skips we're going to be doing are called fireball skips, where you use the backwards knockback from a fireball to get a bit of extra distance and make horizontal jumps you wouldn't normally be able to. So where pogos are used for vertical jumps, here we're going to be using fireballs for the horizontal distance.
Okay, I was about to say, is that damage boosting? But no, you're using your ability to do that.
Yeah. So here is the first one. Just like that. So that jump you cannot make without the backwards knockback from the fireballs.
Ah. Also, I wonder who that was we just saw darting off.
That's just a random enemy.
I see. My bad.
Who we're going to kill at the end of the area. So you can also fireball skip there. I messed up my jump slightly because I headbutted the little platform up there. But we're going to use a backup skip here where we pogo that guy instead. So we haven't lost much time. Yes, you were right that darting just out of reach is the boss for this area, Hornet, who happens to be the protagonist of the sequel, for which I've not learnt the speedrun yet, because it's much harder.
Yes, so I have heard. I know many a person who got hyped up about the sequel to this game.
Yes, it was a massive thing a couple of months ago. So yeah, just up here, we're going to hopefully get a quick kill on like a mini-boss, where we're going to damage tank to stall in the air to be able to kill him before he like screams as his like intro attack. So we're going to go up here, fireball twice, get hit. Unfortunately, I messed it up. I messed up my final fireball there. Come back here, you crap bucket. There we go.
Nearly there, nearly.
Are we on a good amount of money? Yeah, we're on a fine amount of money. So a little bit slow there, but other than that, it's been pretty good so far.
So what do you need money for? So
a couple of things. In a couple of minutes, we're going to buy a charm which doubles the damage of our spells. So that includes Vengeful Spirit, which is going to be very important for a lot of boss fights. And also, beyond that, we need about almost 2,500 to buy a lantern, which is 1,800, as well as some stag stations, which are the fast travel points.
So you have to pay for those.
Yeah, so this is the Hornet boss fight. It's just about keeping up with her and hitting as many fireballs as you can. There we go.
Very nicely done, well done.
And that is Green Path, and this is the dash ability. So now we're going to do something called bench warping. We're going to quit out of the game, go back in, and that's going to take us back to the last bench we rested at. So instead of having to run all the way back through Green Path, we are just going to spawn back at Ancestral Mount, which saves quite a lot of time, as I'm sure you can imagine.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with backing out of the game to just go back to your last save point.
It's also quite common in many Metroidvanias.
Yeah, again, it's something you have to do in Luigi's Mansion at top level as well.
So, yeah. Next split is going to be the Mantis Claw split, which is the wall jump ability. Which is also going to have some pretty cool skips in it if I can hit them. Most of this area is just about quick movement with the new dash ability that we've just got. So there's a lot of vertical movement, and you kind of just have to memorize where the platforms are so you don't land on them and slow yourself down. Yeah, so the main skip that we're going to do here is called E-Pogo, or Explosion Pogo. And this is the skip where we're going to pogo the attack of an enemy.
Oh, yes, this is the big one you said you'd do earlier.
So this is in my opinion, this is the hardest skip in the run. So we're going to try it.
Yeah, but from my understanding, it's also the most significant.
Most significant's tough. I mean, for me, yes, because I fail it the most. There is one skip in a little bit that technically saves more time. Right, here we go. Perfect, there we go. So you see, we use the fireballs to stall in the air so that we could then pogo that homing attack. So this is now Mantis Village, and we're going to attempt another pogo here. I think I messed up the setup. We're going to give it a go. There we go, perfect. So you can pogo those mantises to get up here without having to go all the way around. And that is the Mantis Claw.
Nice.
Actually, pretty good time so far. We're doing pretty well from my non-existent timer that I'm just guessing at. But yeah, so here we're going to bench warp back again. And now the run is relatively chill for another about 10 minutes before we get to the next boss. Although there is a mini-boss on the way, and another very cool skip, although it's not as hard as E-Pogo. So we're going to run back through Forgotten Crossroads, where we basically have a bunch of errands to run, which we didn't do last time because we did not have the money.
I see, so is this mainly just grinding for money and then heading back up to the surface?
So we're not going to head back up to the surface. The next area is to the right of Forgotten Crossroads, but on the way we're going to open the Stag Station. We're also going to talk to a shopkeeper who we need to buy something from later, and so we have to talk to him first so that he will actually sell us stuff. Because he has his shop in the village, and we need to talk to him down here, so that's the Stag Station. We need to talk to him down here so he will move back up to his shop. So we're just going to hit the mini-boss now, which is called Grozmother. If I do it perfectly, it won't even get an attack off. There we go. So with fireballs and enough nails hits, it just dies. The other thing here is we're going to use some fireballs to kill all of the mini-enemies that are going to come out of it, which is very weird, but...
Yeah. Ooh, I don't know if I like that.
There we go.
That's quite gruesome.
That was a pretty quick cleanup as well, though. But yeah, very weird. Grozmother is... Right, so we're going to rest here for the next skip that we're going to do in a minute. We're going to buy Shaman Stone, which is the item that's going to double our spell damage, which is why we needed 220 Geo. And then we're going to go talk to the shopkeeper, and then we're going to die. And the reason we die is because we need our Shade, which is the thing that spawns when you die and holds all your money, and we're going to pogo that.
Pogo your own shadow?
Yes.
Yeah, no, because I'm familiar with that mechanic, and it is very annoying to deal with.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to die just to the right over here. Thank you. And hopefully hit a Shade skip. Put on the charm first.
I'm assuming we leave that charm on for basically the rest of the run.
Almost all of the run. We're going to take it off at the very end for the final boss. And that is Shade skip. So up here is how we're going to get into City of Tears, which is one of the biggest areas of the game. But on the way, we're also going to go through Resting Grounds, where we're going to grab the Dream Nail, which is an item you need to kill the 3 Dreamers, which are the kind of key points of the run. You need to kill the 3 Dreamers before you can access the final boss.
Yeah, I believe I remember the Dream Nail because it does allow you to see essentially what certain enemies are thinking. Am I wrong in thinking that?
If you Dream Nail enemies, you get their thoughts, yes.
Yes, that's right, because I've also seen one of my brothers play through the game 100%.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if either of them are watching, yo, what up?
Nice. Right, so we're going to enter now the Dream World for the first time, which is how we're going to get the Dream Nail. So this is just going to be some movement that hopefully I'm not going to screw up, because if you screw up the movement, you fall and have to redo the area. So this is just about knowing where the platforms are when they spawn. Hopefully landing on all of them. Nice, perfect.
I mean, it looks quite precise, but I think if you have the movement takedown, then it's fairly foolproof.
It's mostly just dashing right and jumping. Once you know where the platforms are, it's not so bad. Just here, I'm going to fail a frame perfect skip. So if you do that frame perfectly, you can get out of the door before you wake up, and then in this next room, you have uncapped full speed.
Okay.
But unfortunately, I barely didn't get it. As you saw there, I was just not through the door.
Well, not too much harm, though. I imagine that saves only a few seconds.
It's only about 5 or 10 seconds. You're absolutely right. So we're not too worried about that. So yeah, just now we're going to enter City of Tears, which is where we're going to get basically all of the money for the rest of the run. This is where we get rich. And there's 2 ways we do that. One is by killing certain enemies and bosses, because they have money after them. The other is by picking up collectible items, which we're going to sell. And by doing all of that, we're going to get about 2,300 Geo, which is what we need for the rest of the run.
That is quite a lot, wow.
So the first of these collectible items is just here. So that's 200 Geo once we sell it. We're going to get another one in just a second. So just in this stag station, we're going to pogo up to the roof and grab another collectible, if I can remember how to pogo. There we go. So that's another 450 Geo. And we're going to rest at the bench just to get our health back for safety, because I'm not completely insane.
Yeah, knowing when to save, especially when you're doing runs for the first time, is very important.
Yeah.
I came to learn that the hard way in, would you guess it, Luigi's Mansion. I was awful about getting lots of damage and eventually dying without realizing.
Yeah. So just here, this enemy is going to give us another 420 Geo. So it's just an attack pattern you basically do every time. And there we go, he's dead. So that's another 420. I clearly missed picking up a little bit of it, but it's fine. And now we're going to head and do a boss called the Watcher Knights and get the first of the 3 Dreamers that we need for the run.
So are you usually supposed to do these bosses in a particular order, or can you do them in any order normally?
You can do them in any order in the game. It does not matter. But we are going to do first the Watch Knights for Lurian the Watcher, then we're going to do Umu for Monomon the Teacher, and then we're going to go into Beast Den and get Hera, who is the final Dreamer. Simply because it's a pretty standard route where you basically go from top right to bottom left of the map. I'm going to rest here again for safety because I might die to Watcher Knights, we will see. But I want to be close to them rather than having to run for a couple minutes.
Yeah, that is the last thing you want to do in this sort of run,
yeah.
Especially any percent.
Right, so first we need to kill this big guy because we need to hit that lever over on the right to open up the door that lets us reach the boss. we go.
Very nice, not a drop of damage.
Right. So... Don't be annoying, thank you. That guy can sometimes just sit in that left-hand like cubby and you just have to kill him because he's just getting in the way. But luckily he was nice this time. So when we get to Watch Knights, we're actually going to kill one of them before the fight starts. We are going to drop a chandelier on its head.
Brutal.
So just in the roof up here is a chandelier that has now fallen and killed one of the 6 Watcher Knights that we have to fight. So now it's only 5 of them. Nice, okay, so
Good start.
that's the first one. Then there's going to be 2 pairs, so we're going to fight 2 at once now. So these rolls are actually really good attacks because we can hit them twice with 1 fireball on these rolls that they're doing. So a couple times you would have seen there, I hit 2 fireballs with only 1 fireball, basically. So there again, actually we got a triple on that guy.
Yeah,
so
so
he's not feeling very good.
Yeah, so fireballs give piercing damage then.
Yeah, so more that like the enemies are moving faster than the fireballs are. So they catch up to the fireball and hit its hitbox twice.
Okay.
Okay, last guy now. There we go. Nice. And that is most of the Jeopardy for another like 10 minutes or so.
So the next 10 minutes are going to be fairly straightforward then?
Yeah, mostly. We're going to run up here, kill Lurie and the Watcher, who's up here, run back through City of Tears, go back to the surface, and then we're going to enter Crystal Peaks, which is where the run starts to get a bit difficult again.
Okay.
Right, so that's the first Dreamer. We need to go into the Dream World and kill him in here, which is why we need the Dream now.
Didn't even give him a chance.
Well, they don't actually fight you, the Dreamers. So there's bosses before them, but the Dreamers themselves are not bosses.
By the way, I have just noticed we have another £5 donation from Andrew Hailstone. Well done for playing Hollow Knight better and faster than I ever could. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. I forgot to move this elevator. There we go. So you hit that lever so the elevator moves up past you while you're falling, because otherwise you can't get past it. There's spikes on the roof. So I just did that quickly. Now we're going to grab the rest of our geo that we need. So there's 655 in this chest, and up here is another collectible worth 450. And now we just need to go and sell all of the collectibles that we've just been grabbing over the last few minutes.
Stacked room.
And on the way, so first we're gonna lose a race to the shopkeeper, which is quite fun. You talk to him outside the fountain in the City of Tears, and then he teleports back to his shop. So we're gonna somehow lose a race to this god of speed who is Lem, the shopkeeper.
That's not fair.
I know. How is he getting back to the shop before me every time? I'm so fast.
Scam artist, I tell you.
It's ridiculous. But he does pay a lot of money for the collectibles that we have, so I can't get too mad at him.
Ah, that's fair.
So that's the shop over on the right. He is also over here on the right, but outside by the fountain. Hello, Lamb. How are you doing today, sir? Now we're going to go back, and he's going to miraculously be in the shop before us. There he is. Hello. And now we're going to sell the rest of our collectibles, which is going to get us the rest of the geo that we need.
I imagine he's probably a local. He probably knows the best shortcuts around the place.
Oh, he must have like a trapdoor or a rope or something. Right, there we go.
Typical shopkeeper.
Now we're going to go and buy the lantern, which is what gives us light in all of the dark rooms. So there's one just before Crystal Peaks, and there's also a few in Deep Nest, which is the final area before we do the final boss. We're just backtracking through where we were before, because we're going to use the stag station over here to get back to the surface. So this is going to be 300 of the geo that we collected gone to this stag station. There's going to be 1,800 for the lantern, and then 250 at the very end for one more stag station. So we'll grab a little bit more geo on the way to that. So now you'll see why we talked to that shopkeeper earlier, because he's now back in his shop. And we can buy the Lumafly lantern from him for far too much money.
Yeah, that is quite a lot. Wow.
It's expensive. And we're also very key, we have to rest there because we're going to bench warp again, and we really don't want to be bench warped back to City of Tears.
Oh, yeah.
So very important to bench there before we now head to Crystal Peaks.
So what do we need the lamp for?
Technically, the only thing you actually need it for is going to be just in a sec, where there is a dark room with a door that is paid to open, but you cannot pay unless you have the lantern and can see. There we go.
Okay.
That room's really annoying, but we got through it. So this door you cannot buy unless you have the lantern. Also, there's quite a few rooms in Deep Nest which you can navigate in the dark, but it's much easier when you can see.
Yeah, I was going to say, because would it be possible to just do this, to just do that room without the lantern and just know the path?
Absolutely, except for that paid door. So this is now Crystal Peaks, where we're going to get the Crystal Dash, which is a big super dash that we're going to use to reach the next Dreamer. Okay, there we go. Almost screwed that up, but we're okay. So yeah, this is another area where it's basically just pure movement tech. And we're going to do one damage tank to get a really nice cycle with some lasers. So throughout this area, you'll see there's a lot of lasers shooting around, which are on cycles. And in the final parkour area, you can get a really nice cycle if you damage tank a specific laser. So we're going to try and do that. So we're now reaching the final parkour area. So we're going to see that damage tank in just a second. And it's this laser specifically. And now all of the rest of the lasers in this room, we basically can just breeze straight past. Other than that one.
I was about to say, that is a very strict timing.
Other than that last one, which I screwed up slightly, but we're okay.
Yeah, you still did really well there.
This is the Crystal Heart, which gives us our Super Dash. And we're then going to bench warp back out again, which is why it was very important to bench back in Dirtmouth.
Yeah, oh dear, my laptop is about to die.
Oh, no.
Give me a sec to just grab my charger.
Yeah, all good, all good. Right, so that is the Crystal Dash. We going to use that quite a lot throughout the remaining part of the run, mostly for movement, although also for one specific reason, which is an acid skip, which you will see in just a minute. So an acid skip, we're going to crystal dash over the top of some acid instead of needing to swim through it, which we can't currently do because we don't have the item that makes us immune to acid. So instead, we're going to crystal dash over the top of it. And that is just in here. So we grab this wall, crystal dash, grab that wall jump up, and that is our acid skip.
Yeah. Crisis just barely averted there. I'm back.
Oh. Slightly messed up my movement in this room, but there's a very much messed up my movement in this room. Oh, it's fine. We spawn back up here anyway. I'll lose like maybe 10 seconds. There's a bench in a minute anyway, so we're not too worried about that. I would have got the bench anyway, just in case of the boss killing me. I have had worse in that room. And now we're just about to reach Umu, which is the boss before our second Dreamer. So Umu, we need to get is on like a cycle basis. You can only damage him at certain times. So we need to get enough damage in the cycles. So we're aiming for a 3 cycle. A 4 cycle is acceptable. A 2 cycle I've only got like once.
I'm assuming 1 cycle is near impossible.
If you're a computer, you can do it. So a TAS, or if you get upgrades that we don't have, you can do it 1 cycle. But again, I am not a computer. So unfortunately, I will not be 1 cycling.
I imagine someday a human player will manage to pull it off.
The technique is basically impossible for people. But right, so here we go, first cycle. So again, we're basically trying to get these double hits on the fireballs. And that's how we're going to get through the cycles quick enough. Oh, unlucky damage there. Might heal after this next cycle, we'll see. He's gonna go again now. Yeah, so I'm gonna heal once just for safety. This will probably be a 4 cycle. I don't think my second cycle was very good. Alright, we're gonna bring you back to the middle, please, friend. Because I want to. Okay, we did get a double there. So yeah, hopefully a 4 cycle. Ooh, if I don't die, which I need to be careful of.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
Well, again, at least you have the bench.
Yeah, oh well. We will run it back. And hopefully I do better this next time. Hello. That's unfortunate. Right, can we get 2 Dream Nails in time? No, we're only going to get 1. Do at least have full soul, so hopefully we can get a decent first cycle again. Oh, what the hell, man? Okay, oh well. We'll be okay. But it is
Yeah, unfortunate damage hit, but no harm done realistically.
Yeah, more that I lost some damage on the cycle for falling in acid. Okay, we're gonna go underneath you now, actually. Oh, you did an extra attack. You sneaky. Okay. Slightly better cycle again. Probably heading for a 4 cycle here. Where we're dream nailing him for the soul. Because dream nailing this guy gets you soul. Dream nailing most bosses, in fact, gets you soul.
I suppose it makes sense that using Dream Veil on bosses to give you soul makes a lot of sense because that does allow you to kill them a lot faster.
Yeah.
And leverage more advanced techniques.
Yeah, exactly. So this definitely could be a full cycle if I get this last one reasonably well. There we go. Okay. Second attempt, not terrible. Unfortunately, didn't get it first time, so...
Well, that happens to the best of us.
Right, and now we're going to Crystal Dash over this acid, and now we're going to head into the final part of the run, which has a lot of annoying enemies and a lot of tough movement. But we're going to try our best. So this is now the second Dreamer. 2 out of 3.
And there we go, one more to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, on the way to the last Dreamer, we're going to do one important thing, which is I'm going to grab a Charm, which on this specific patch is broken and does far more damage than it should, and is going to make the final boss a lot easier. And that Charm is called Spore Shroom, which makes like a cloud of like mushroom spores around you that do damage on like a tick rate basis. But on this patch, it just ticks much faster than on other patches.
Ah, I see. Because as I was setting up, I was wondering why this patch specifically.
Yeah, so that's the main reason I run on this patch. You don't have to for current patch. You can beat the final boss with just good RNG and good fireballs. You can be really quick with it. But I prefer this because it makes the final boss a lot easier and for me quicker.
I suppose also it's kind of the feeling of it because being able to nail something down a lot easier gives you far better motivation, I think.
Yeah, 100%. And it makes the final part of the final boss fight a little bit less stressful because it's not unbelievably difficult as a boss.
Which to me is surprising for this game.
So that's why I'm going to go this route instead of through Queen's Gardens, which is an area up to the left, because Spore Shroom is down here. We're going to grab it in just a minute. Am I too? No, I'm not going to hit him. Good. Right. So Spore Shroom's in this room here. We're going to open that door, which leads to Deep Nest, which is the final area. Here is our OP Charm, and we're also going to damage tank out of here, so we respawn up here and don't have to go around.
Again, good time save.
And now we enter Deep Nest. Which is dark and scary and has lots of spiders and crawling horribleness, so... You see how I'm like holding out the little light in front of me? That's the Lumafly lantern, which is what is allowing me to see in lots of these rooms. Damage tank past that guy as well, just to save some time. Partly because just up here is a hot water spring that's both going to fill up our soul and heal us. So I don't really care how much health I am on going in here, as long as I'm not dead.
Yep, that's quite useful. I'm assuming you don't necessarily need the lantern for that section, but it does make it a good bit easier.
Again, yeah, it's the being able to see makes it a lot easier. I mean, some of these places, the little mushrooms there do give you light, but a lot of the rooms don't have that.
Yeah, I just want to announce we've got another donation here from Wallum. A massive £140, which is our top donation of the stream. £5 for every time I took damage during my run. It went on for longer than I expected, and I took way more damage than expected, but screw it. Thank you very much, Wallum. Your sacrifice is certainly worth it. And then we've got another £10 donation from MJ. No message. Thank you, MJ.
should not
And
be-
thank you, Wallum.
Misremembered the Crystal Dash location. It's up here. Oh well, 1 damage is acceptable. Right. Now comes to the part of the game where we have to dodge these horrible crawling spiders. They crawl on the walls and attack you, and there's going to be a lot of those in just a minute, which hopefully I'm going to dodge successfully. Otherwise I have to be slow and heal lots. So we're now going to enter Beast's Den, which is where we're going to find the final Dreamer Hera. There isn't a boss fight before her, but honestly the area is the boss fight.
Oh no, you're stuck.
I am stuck. I've been trapped by the bench. They're going to capture me and take me where I want to go. Alright. Here we go. We are now in Beast Den. On full soul, which is good because we're going to have to kill some big guys to get through. And these guys you really don't want to get hit by because they do 2 damage. So we're going to be careful, not get hit and kill him like that. And that's also how we're going to get the rest of our Geo, because we weren't on 250, but those guys give 40 each and we're going to kill 2 of them. Now it's time for spider dodging the video game. There's one, that's another. There's gonna be another one up here. That's okay. Oh, that's not okay. We're fine. And there's gonna be one more here, which did hit me. I'm gonna not risk. This guy will sometimes move backwards, and I don't want to risk him moving backwards under me and hitting me when I'm on 1 health. So I healed once.
I mean, I was going to say you probably do want to heal, but I also kind of wanted to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, so this is the final enemy, which I just need to not get hit by because I'm on one hit to this guy. There we go. This is Hera the Beast, our final Dreamer, and so now it's just the final boss. Get out of Beasts, then take a stag station back to the very first area of the game, which is where we're going to find the final boss, coming full circle.
Yeah, it's good you didn't have to deal with any more of those spiders coming out.
Nope, you can just go the left route, which is very nice, because those spiders suck. Here we go, we only need 250 for this one, and that's the last thing we're going to have to buy for the run.
Yeah, just barely had enough money there.
Yep. It's very tightly routed, this, but we did have enough, and that's what's important. There we go. Here we go, this is the Black Egg Temple, where we're going to fight the final boss. And hopefully Spore Shroom him out of existence, if all goes well. Let's switch our charm. We can only have one of them on, unfortunately. We only have space for one.
Yeah, I think even then, double damage and spores would be quite overpowered.
Oh, yeah. Right, here we go. This is the final boss of the game, the Hollow Knight, the final boss of Hollow Knight.
All right, best of luck. I'd just like to say, Tech, be on the ready to stop the time.
There we go, final boss. So it's going to be pretty soon is the timer. It's going to be basically when it fades to black after we've absorbed him is going to be the timer. And there we go, time.
All right, very well done. All right, there we have it, folks. A 45.54. Well done, Turambar.
Thank you, that was a pretty good run. Other than the Umu death, that was pretty good. 45 minutes real time is about 2 minutes off PB, which makes sense with that one Umu death.
Yeah, very well done again. Very well done.
Thank you everyone for watching.
It's a massive pleasure to have you on the stream today.
Thank you everyone.